Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Looking for a pair of shoes? Les Hub Stores has a wide range of selection for unisex footwear. We have the best quality of all brands at pocket-friendly prices, and we make deliveries countrywide. Just place your order or reach us on 0772 08 0090. You can also check up at Les Hub Stores on all our social media platforms. Les Hub, craft your own footprints.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Buterevu tubaniriza nnyo wano ku Digital TV. Amanya nze Edgar Mathew Karuhanga, ennaku z'omwezi tuli mu 13 omwezi ogwokubiri omuzungu gwayita February omwaka 2024. Amawulire mangi agagenda maaso mu ggwanga era ne wabweru w'eggwanga bingi bye tugenda okuba nga tunyumyamu enkya y'olunaku olwaleero, naye nga tetunagenda eyo yonna muzikirize nsooke mbeetondere. Kisooka tutandiseemu obudde nga bugenzeeko eddakiika 15 naye network problems zibeerawo wano nawali, naye kirungi tutandise. Then amawulire amalala tuli streaming live on YouTube, tuli mu kubanga tuweereza olunaku luno olwaleero. Facebook ekyali mu kwekyanga mpola mpola, tujja kubanga tukikolako era feed tujja kugiteekayo maasa. Omwami Mukose Arnold ali mu kukola buli kimu kyasobola okubanga Facebook yagitereza, naye njagala okubanga mbaaniriza omulundi omulala nembeebaza okubanga mutuninze obanga mutwegaseeko enkya y'olunaku olwaleero. Program bagiyita The Mighty Drive. Amanya nze Edgar Mathew Karuhanga okubanga nkuweereza, ndi muweereza wano ku Digital TV era ffe twasalawo okubanga tukuwa amawulire ng'otudde wonna woba otudde, buli woba oli oba osobola okubanga otufuna, kubanga ffe tulowooza nti ensi eno gyekoma okubanga ekulaakulana oba okubanga egenda mu maaso, waliwo enkyukakyuka ze tutasobola kubanga twewala. Ezimu ku ezo kwe kubanga amawulire tulina okugafunira ku mikutu egy'enjawulo. Si bantu bangi abakyatera okutuula ku TV ne baziraba, era abantu abasinga abeera na simu ye mu mmotoka, mu taxi, ku bodaboda, abeera ku mpuliziganya ye n'agezaako okubanga afuna amawulire. Kati era ffe twasalawo tubeere nga tubeetega ku mikutu egyo gimukwanira wala, emikutu nga Facebook, emikutu nga YouTube. Tubeerako buli lunaku lwa Monday paka ku lunaku olwokutaano okuva ku ssaawa 2 paka ku ssaawa 4 ez'akalasamayanzi. Tubeerawo wano nga tunyumyamu nammwe, ate nga ffe tetutera nnyo okutunuulira bizibu byokka, naye twagala twogere ne ku mbeera ki esobola okubanga eyamba okukyusa ino eggwanga, kubanga naffe ndowooza mu budde buno obwaffe twetaaga tube nga tukolako ku nkyukakyuka ezinaleeta sustainable change or impact mu Uganda, mu ssemazingo wa Africa ne mu nsi yonna mu mbeera eyo yennyini. Kati ndowooza tugendeko mu mawulire agagenda mu maaso. Kansooke njozeyoze omwami Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu olunaku lw'eggulo yabadde ajaguza amazaalibwa ge. Omwami oyo yayingidde 4th floor. Manyi tetulina okwagala kubanga twogera ku myaka gy'abantu, naye Robert Kyagulanyi olunaku lw'eggulo yajaguza amazaalibwa ge. Abantu ab'enjawulo basobodde okubanga bamusindikira obubaka obumuyozaayoza ku lw'okubanga akulembedde mu struggle oba kye bayita struggle, n'okubanga agezaako okuleeta enkyukakyuka mu ggwanga lino erya Uganda. So naffe obanga nze Edgar Mathew njagala okubanga muyozaayoza omwami Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu ku mazaalibwa ge ago agabaddewo olunaku olw'eggulo. Tugendeko ndowooza mu bitundu by'eri e Busia waliyo omwami amanyikiddwa nga Father Peter Owora. Father Peter Owora ono abadde akola mu kigo kye bayita Durban eri mu Busia mu Uganda wano. Omwami ono yakwatiddwa olunaku lw'eggulo n'asimbibwa mu mbuga z'amateeka okulw'okubanga yakabasanya omwana. Mawulire getwafunye omwami ono emisango gye bamutaddeko bakiyita kujjula bitayidde, mu luzungu kye waligambye defilement or rape mu mbeera eyo, nti omwami ono yakwatiddwa ng'ali mu bikolwa eby'ekikulu n'omwana alina emyaka 17 gyokka. Omwami ono abadde asomeranga abadde akolanga P7 mu ssomero erimu awo ku kigo kyennyini, era omwami ono yasobola okuba nga akosa olukujjukujju omwana ono n'amutunuza mu mbuga za sitaani. So olunaku lw'eggulo wali mu disitulikiti y'e Busia, omwami ono yaguddwako emisango era yatwaliddwa kwa rimanda paka ku nnaku z'omwezi 26 omwezi guno gwennyini omwaka 2024 wajja okuba nga akomezebwawo okuba nga addamu okuba nga emisango gye agiwuliriza mu mbeera eyo. Gino emisango gy'okukabasanya abaana ne defilement gyeyongeredde ddala mu masomero, mu masinzizo ne mu communities mwe tubeera, ekikuleetera okuba nga weeraliikirira nti tulagawa ng'abantu kuba ensangi zino bantu bangi abakwatiddwa nga bali ku misango egyo egy'okujula ebitayidde. Abangi bemanyi abali remanded mu makomera ag'enjawulo ku lw'ensonga zino. So ndowooza tubeere vigilant ngaffe abazadde b'abaana n'abaana bennyini, tubeere very vigilant and careful okubanga twewala ebizibu bino. Ndowooza tugendeko mu mawulire amalala. Ne poliisi era yakutte omwami bamuyita Sabiti Kaporonyo emyaka 48 okuva wano mu Kampala. Ono nno akwatiddwa ku misango gy'okuba nga agezaako okukola kye baliise hacking oba breaking into systems eza mobile money z'abantu ab'enjawulo n'ajjako ensimbi. Nti ono kyabadde akola afuna engeri gya hacking system za mobile money agents, abantu abasindika ssente ne bakola mobile money nga hackinga n'akebera line zaabwe ezo n'ajjako ensimbi. Bwe batuuse okumukwata ng'ensimbi nnyingi nno omwami ono zaabadde yakabulankanya nga ziri mu millions, tebannaba kubanga bakakasiza ddala ssente mmeka omwami ono over the times abadde ajjanga ku line ez'enjawulo eza mobile monies accounts ze tulina mu ggwanga. So omwami ono yakwatiddwa myaka 48 kugambye bamuyita Sabit Kapronyo mu mbeera eyo yennyini, era naye agenda kuba nga asimbibwa mu mbuga z'amateeka asobole okuba nga abitebya atubuulire ye embeera eno yagitandika ddi. Tuveeko kaawo tugendeko mu mawulire amalala nga mwakitegedde nti ekisanja kya Inspector General of Police Martin Okoth Ochola kigenda kuba nga kiggwako mu mwezi ogwokusatu guno omwaka gwennyini. Omwami ono abadde mu ntebe eno okumala akaseera kangi, era bangi abadde bagamba nti Martin Okoth Ochola ono abadde ceremonial in nature, naye abantu abalala badde bamuyita ceremonial eri title abadde agirina, era ye muntu abadde akulembera oba nga aduumira poliisi ya Uganda. Kati mu mbeera eyo mu mwezi ogwokusatu agenda kuba nga amaliriza tenure ye oba nga ekisanja kye kiggwako, kye tulindiridde okulaba ani anaabaddawo mu mbeera eyo. Okuggyako omwami ayogerera poliisi, omwami Faridah yavuddeyo bulungi n'awakanya ebibadde bigambibwa nti bantu bangi naddala bali mu poliisi yabadde bali mu kubanga babala omulimu gwa IGP Ochola. Of course President yalina okuba nga alonda IGP Ssemateeka emuwa akaaganya ako n'amaanyi okuba nga yeerondera Inspector General of Police, era katulinde tulabe mwani mu abo abali awo mu poliisi basobola okuba nga alonda okureplacinga omwami ono. Nno kino ekifo kikulaga nti kibadde kyanjawulo. Martin Okoth Ochola ono abadde ajjanga n'akulembera bulungi, abadde akolanga decisions. Ate ekintu ekiri outstanding ku Martin Okoth Ochola nti ye naturally mu poliisi. Omanye ensangi zino ogenda ne weetegereza abantu abali mu poliisi abasinga ennaku zino abakulembedde directorates ez'enjawulo abangi balinamu ne ka military background. Mu mbeera eyo tutandika ne ku Major General Deputy IGP Major General Kasigazi, olabya ddala nti naye yali munnamagye. Twaliko Waline the Lion of Mogadishu, naye yagikomandingako abantu nga Katumba Wamala. Kwegamba kikulaga nti nno poliisi eno ebadde eri infiltrated by the military. Oluusi abantu ne bagamba nti militarization of politics or of the police force mu mbeera eyo yennyini. So atusuubire nti omuntu anaatwala obuyinza obukomandinga poliisi anaaba ayina kyewaliise training entuufu eya police officer mu ggwanga lino erya Uganda. Mawulire amalala ge tulina ku dakika zino 24 ezakayita ku ssaawa 2 ez'okumakya. Twafunye ka video ndoza mbadde mukalaba kadde katambula ku mikutu egy'enjawulo nga Minister wa Internal Affairs Kahinda Otafire, Major General retired Kahinda Otafire yavuddeyo n'awakanya ebintu bya okubanga muhoza alina okubeera president. Ye nga ye yakikakasizza yakikakasizza mu video gye yafulumye eno ng'ayogera akaati ng'omusezi agula essowaani ng'agamba nti ye atagenda kubanga wagira omwami Muhoozi Kainerugaba kuba president. Yechi yakakasiza wachi yatangaziza nti tachawa mutabani wa president Muhoozi Kainerugaba no yechawa kanya checho kubanga mutabani wa president agenda kubanga ajja ku ntebe ya president like that ye ngagamba tamuwagira ku wa president wa Uganda era yakyogedde akati teyesise namuyadde bantu banji no naddala abo aba National Patriotic League yali MK Army ndala ku mikutu ejenjawulo bamuviiriddeyo ne boogera bingi naye era omwami ono Kahindo Tafiro mmanyi teyeri antama waba yogedde ekintu aba kitegeeza era nga bwakyogedde bwe kiba kino kubanga kitwalibwa so ye yabiwakanyiza bino era yagambye bya Muhoozi okubeera president ye tabiwagira tabirimu era abalala batembeeta ensonga zino abanaazitembeetanga bo okujja kuba aba Muhoozi ame nkugambye tebakitutte bulungi era bagambye nti omwami ono talina lukusa kubanga asalyawo bannayuganda kubanga bannayuganda be balina kiwali gambye amaanyi n'akaaganya akalonda omukulembeze waabwe era be bokka abalina okubanga balonda president anaaba abakulembera so kigega mawulire ge twafunyeeko okuva wali Muhoozi Ame oba National Patriotic League n'omwami Kahinda Otafiire mu mbeera eyo yo poliisi erina beekutteyo saidi ze Kayunga abantu 25 abadde bakwata amamundu n'ebijambiya okubanga batawanya abantu beeyo so poliisi yakoze ekikwekweto mu kikwekweto kino abantu 25 be bakwatiddwa mu mbeera era moli agasinga gali ku poliisi yakozeyo n'ekikwekweto ekirala webadde eri mu kunoonya abantu naddala abantu ba foreign nationals abantu abava ebweru ne bajja okubanga babundabunda muno yakoze ekikwekweto nekwata abantu 348 kuba no 347 bamaze dde okubanga baddizibwayo ewaabwe omuzungu kyayita deported bamaze dde okubanga babazaayo ewaabwe okubanga abantu tebalina really bipapula bisobola kubanga biba backing obanga bibakkiriza okubeera muri neggwanga erya Uganda so abantu 348 abakwatiddwa mu mbeera eyo yennyini kamalirize n'obuzibu bwe tuyina ensangi zino naddala mu health facilities ez'enjawulo eza Uganda ekizibu ekiriwo kyekyo omusaayi tegukyamala ensonga ezisinza okubanga zinokolwayo okubanga kino ekizibu kikyaliwo paka kati bannayuganda bakyalimye okubanga bagenda ne bagaba ku musaayi abakyalina stereotypes ez'enjawulo ku blood donation n'ebintu ng'ebyo bebasinza okubanga balemesa abasinza okubanga baleetera kino ekizibu okubanga kyeyongera obuzibu obulala abantu abatunda omusaayi waliwo ekintu ekigenda mu maaso naddala mu health facilities ez'enjawulo nti oyiteekebwa okubanga owaayo ensimbi okubanga bakuwa omusaayi ate nga kino siwo kirina okubanga kikolebwa in fact ne mu mateeka agatutwala tokkiriza kubanga otunda musaayi because nawe oba ogwagala ate ne bagukuguza oba owulira oti ebintu ng'omusaayi tetutera kubanga tubitunda okujjako ensangi zino abaana oba ngamba ensi egenze ekaluba ennaku zino osanga abaana nga batunda ebiwoowoolo batunda kidneys zaabwe ndowooza era kyekireeterawo n'abantu abamu okugamba nti kabayitundire omusaayi mu mbeera eyo naye blood shortage yeyongedde mu health facilities ez'enjawulo era ntwala omukisa guno okubanga nsaba buli munnayuganda ali mu kuntunuulira oba awulira eddoboozi lyange osobola okubanga ogenda naawe osobola okuwaayo omusaayi mu mbeera eyo oba oyagala kukola blood donation osobola ogenda ku Nakasero blood bank abo basobola okubanga bakuggyako omusaayi bulungi n'ofuna omuntu gw'osobola okubanga otaasa mu mbeera eyo kubanga obulamu bwetaaga kubanga tweyambako mpolampola n'ekizibu kya school fees kyeyongedde amasomero bannange ndowooza parliament etandise okubanga eyogera ku nsonga zino how do we bring up a regulated education system nti waliwo amasomero ennaku zino agaseerera ddala ndowooza ogenda n'olaba bu receipts ne bu brochures oba amasomero ag'enjawulo nekikwewuunyisa ensimbi ze batusaba oba ze basaba abazadde mu mbeera eyo ekintu ekitali kirungi esente nnyingi nnyo osanga amasomero miliyoni 4 waliwo aga miliyoni 7 wali ate aga miliyoni 2 kwegamba kiringa ennaku zino monetization education yafuuka business rather than a service nti tebukyali buweereza yafuuka business kubanga buli omu afunamu ensimbi ate ennaku zino abantu abakoze amasomero nno bafunye ensimbi nnyingi sente weeri mu mbeera enyini basebo ne bannyabo kampumulemu wano kampumulemu kati kubanga wenkomawo ngenda kwegattibwako omwami Joram Mwesige. Omwami ono ava mu kitongole bakita Action for Liberty and Economic Development. Atugenda kwatunuulira the concept of libertarianism. Kiki kitegeeza liberty esobola otya okuba nga contributing oba libertarianism esobola okuba nga contributing etya ku the politics and the development of Africa and Uganda in particular. So olunaku olwaleero nyina omwami Joram Mwesige ono nno kugambye ye Libertarian Administrative Officer, Action for Liberty and Economic Development. Let's go for a short commercial break. We'll be right back.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Hi Rogers, can I ask you something?
Shoot.
What does corruption mean?
Well, summarily, corruption is abuse of public power for personal gain or for the benefit of a group to which one owes allegiance. For example, when a public office is abused by an official accepting or soliciting a bribe. By the way, private people can be corrupt too, like bribing police officers to escape fines.
Okay. So exactly how does that concern me?
Well, do you pay taxes?
I guess, yeah. What does that have to do with this?
Everything. Because those taxes you pay are supposed to facilitate services you use, like water, electricity, roads construction, medicines in hospitals, name it.
Okay, that is much bigger than I thought. But it can be stopped, right?
Well, yes, it can, although it may not be as easy as it sounds. And here is the reason why. Corruption roots are grounded in our country's social, political, economic, bureaucratic traditions and policies.
So, what has kept it going this long? I mean, why don't we stop it?
Well, the main reason why it has been here for so long is because institutions are weak, either as a result of poorly defined ethical standards of public service, weak administrative and financial systems, or ineffective watchdog agencies.
What can we do to stop it?
At a national level, we must focus on strengthening the independence and effectiveness of public institutions that fight corruption. At a personal level, we must commit to never giving a bribe.
I promise I'll never give a bribe.
Well, that's a great decision you have made. Me and you now have to spread this message to all our friends. If we all do our part, corruption will be no more.
This message is brought to you by Alternative Digital.
But at the church, though,
Tawali man, what's up?
man, can you imagine people just dump everywhere? Someone drinks water and throws the bottle wherever.
Come on, Rogers. What else do you expect people to do with an empty bottle?
Simanya now, did you know that plastics take at least 450 years to decompose?
What? That's a long time.
Exactly, because plastics are made out of a lightweight and flexible material that doesn't decompose easily. And plastics everywhere in the environment cause plastic pollution.
What is plastic pollution now?
It is the accumulation of plastic waste in the environment, like bottles, polythene bags, straws. All of these contribute to plastic pollution.
I have been using them without knowing their effect.
Yeah, a lot of people have. Plastics are a danger to the ecosystem, both on land and in water.
So how can we overcome this problem? Is there something we can do?
Oh yes, we can reduce by minimizing the use of plastics, reuse by repurposing them, or recycle by collecting and processing them into new products.
Everyone wants to change the world, but no one wants to change themselves for the world.
How about we change our habits for the world?
And it starts with me and you.
This message is brought to you by Alternative Digital.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Welcome back from that short commercial break, ladies and gentlemen. You're still tuned in to Digitalk TV. My name is Edgar Mathew Karuhanga. 34 minutes past the top of the hour of 8. We are into the first hour of the show. Remember, this show runs from 8 to 10 a.m. We're always here having a conversation with you. As I told you, I have Joram Mwesige. This gentleman is going to be talking about the concept of liberty or libertarianism. And of course, how does it relate to Uganda and the general African context? Because as you know, Africans have not been celebrated for embracing liberty, in my own perspective, really. It is a concept that is growing, that we think should be something that is adopted by growing and emerging economies and countries like ourselves. So we shall be talking to Joram Mwesige in a few minutes from now. But before we do that, I have the Princess of Bunyoro, self-proclaimed, Farida Bikobere. Yes, she's self-proclaimed. You are self-proclaimed Princess of Bunyoro. You're welcome, Farida. Good morning.
Good morning.
I want to wait for the Omukama to say from today. I've given you. I want to get say same. Good morning, everyone.
You're self-proclaimed. Into the alternative digital Farida Bikobere. I am a princess of Bunyoro. Not so proclaimed. I am a princess by birth. So this is what Edgar is telling you are not true. He must be envious of my title of a princess because he's not a prince anyways. But
I'm a prince of my
that
family.
Is human nature. We don't wish any other person good for as long as you go back to China, but it is okay.
Yeah.
So our quote of the day is, you cannot climb the ladder of success with your hands in your pockets. You cannot climb the ladder of success with your hands in your pockets. That means you have to put in effort. Yeah. Put in effort in whatsoever you do. You are reading, you need to start writing. You are doing something, you need to find some other things that can bring you money. Sometimes when you look at how you spend, the money you spend does not come from your salary. So you need to find out where does this money come from, and then you put effort there. Because this money we spend that is making us go through life, and it is not particularly coming from our salary. Where is this money coming from? So you need to find out where this money is coming from, and then put some effort there. It may bring you some other source of income other than your salary. Very good morning, Mr. Joram Mwesige. We are really happy to have you here in the studios of the Alternative Digitalk, and happy that we're going to be sharing the concept of liberty and how it relates with Ugandan politics. I don't think we have a liberty in Uganda here. But anyways, Joram will have to enlighten us about that. A very good morning. Please say hello to our viewers.
Thank you very much for hosting me. Mwesige Joram. I work with Action for Liberty and Economic Development as administrative officer. I'm very, very much delighted to be in Digitalk TV. Yeah. I want to appreciate you for this great innovation that you have given to Uganda as a gift. Actually, you are doing a very, very great work for this country.
It humbles us. It humbles us to know that we are serving you, and you also appreciate what we're doing.
Thank you.
How is Action for Liberty and Economic Development?
Action for Liberty and Economic Development is a libertarian think tank. We are doing well. We are in the battle of ideas.
Okay.
We fight using ideas. We want to transform the country using ideas. The country is always changed by ideas, the ideologies. That's what change, what people develop in mind and what they can invent, and then transform them through property you see, cars you see, great idea moving the world you see, the ideology, the philosophy you see. That's where we are.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So let's just go back to understand how this organization comes into existence. We've understood the vision, really, transforming the country. But where does it start from? How do you come into existence?
What prompts you to start?
Our mission, literally, is to promote a free and prosperous society with aspects of entrepreneurship and individual liberty. Our vision is a free and prosperous society. We started way back 2014 in the university. One of my colleagues and my director, Mugari John, was a guild president, Chambo.
Yeah.
So he was given an opportunity to organize a student event called under one of the international student movement called Student for Liberty. From there, we...
Student for Liberty Africa.
Yes.
Oh.
So from there, when we left the university, we felt that ideas of liberty are very important. We decided to start a think tank in 2017.
Okay.
So that we can continue selling ideas to the society. So that one time Uganda will have freedom, will have liberty, and we see how we can prosper.
Wow.
Yes.
That means you guys have been operating. The vision is like 10 years old now.
The vision is since 2014.
That's around
We
10 years.
transformed from a student movement into
an organization in
community.
2017.
Yes, organization.
Okay.
Yeah.
How has it been? Like, are there some fruits that we can see? What is there some impact you've created over those years?
We are fighting for property rights. We have won cases in courts and through dialogue in community. We have dialogue people and then achieved. We have actually inspired young people to start more organizations like Mitindo Network, Action for Direct Impact Initiative, Africa Justice Media, Liberty Spark. Those are actually younger brothers who looked at what we were doing and then decided to start some of the branches to do the same work we are doing.
That means you're creating impact.
And we have organized, we have been actually influencing policy and organizing business conferences. One of the biggest in Uganda is called the Entebbe Business Summit, which bring politicians, business leaders to dialogue on business environment that can help spur business growth in Entebbe and Wakiso district.
Man, you're doing a good job.
Yeah.
The property rights, are you doing it for individuals? How do you protect, how do you advocate for these people's property rights?
Generally, we are advocating on individual level, especially when there are some community grievances. When, this time we have a program or a project on women's rights and orphan, widow and orphan.
To own property.
Yes, to own. You know, previously there was that where women, widows could not inherit, and sometimes the orphan would be aggrieved by relatives.
Yes,
the family could come and
take over the property.
And most people do not know that it's these days, of course, the law.
Currently.
Yes, it is ongoing, but today the law has been changed. That actually we are trying to sensitize people about the law, which is ongoing. The law mandates the children of the deceased to take a certain percentage, like 75%.
Yes, I have.
The widow is supposed to take a percentage, and then the young kids who are in school, they're supposed to actually take a certain percentage. And
so
most
even,
of our people don't know those
that are
things.
outside the wedlock.
Actually, even people who are actually under the help of that deceased person.
Yes, they're also entitled. For example, Baba Dalabirira Bakande
Tata wange nafa nga badde alina omwana gw'alabirira naye nga si yamuzala.
Yes, they are
that
supposed
kid
to
is
take a
entitled.
percentage. Yes, a certain small percentage. It is one, I think.
Yes, I remember.
Yes, it is one. Okay. So we are this time having a project that is fighting to see women get to know their freedom, their right about the property of the deceased. Someone should not come from anywhere and hijack them. So, and most people are informed about that, and family actually, it is ongoing. They are still disturbing the sons, daughters, and widow of the deceased. Okay.
Yeah. So you people you hire pro bono lawyers, what's the or you guys are lawyers too?
We have. I'm not a lawyer. I'm administrator.
Okay.
But we have legal entities we are working with, and on our team we have a lawyer. We have a lawyer working with who actually we offer free legal service to those based on our project we are running right now as a team. But our partner, Redeem International, they are offering legal services,
free legal
services to
widows
and orphan. Yes. Yeah, they are one of the partners.
So how are you sensitizing the communities? Do you go, do you visit those people? Do they come to your offices?
We do all of them. They come, sometimes we invite them to our office, sometimes we go to the victims, sometimes we organize the community gatherings. We call entities in, as I said, we have a law firm that is helping us, Redeem International. We call them, we call politicians and people who are versed with the law to talk to the people. Yeah, sometimes we go to social media, we use social media. We have several WhatsApp groups where we have thousands of people. Always update them about the law concerning property rights.
One would say, are you just working with urban centers? Because how about our people from Kaboyo in Fort Rotoro, there, Kabong? No? Are we working with them also or helping them? Because I think they need the services most.
When we post on our Facebook, when we post, sometimes there is that impact. You know, things are spontaneous. Ideas, you know, TikTok right now is being watched in USA, in China, everywhere. So the impact sometimes tend to be spontaneous. You may not know how it evolves and reach someone. But sometimes we organize student events. Better, we are a builder organization. We organize students, teach them about, university students and young leaders.
And high school?
I remember one time I invited TikTok. We had the forum, economic freedom audit. We invited you, one of, I think, of your colleagues here. So we organize people in conferences, in seminar and workshop. We do train in economic freedom, property right. And of course, when they go back, those young people. And in time, in future, we think these are the people who are going to be in leadership. That's why I said we are building organization. We are building for the next generation.
Wow.
Yes. For the TikTok say, today or now.
Exactly.
This is us.
That is Joram Mwesige.
Yeah, but for us, we are looking at the future. We want to give a foundation to the young generation, so that they can fight for the real liberty.
Yes.
Liberty that is not infringed, liberty that does not belong to someone, liberty that belongs to you without being violated by others.
Okay, which organizations are you working with that support you to give free legal services?
We have Redeem International, we have Private in Video, like Kakane, Richard. We have, actually particularly those are the two. We have an individual working on our team, he's our partner. He has an organization called Africa Liberty Foundation. Yeah. And then, of course, in doing sensitization and community work, we have other organizations like Mutindo Network. We have AFWOD and the Africa Justice Media. Yeah.
Okay, that is Joram Mwesige. He is a Libertarian Administration Officer from Action for Liberty and Economic Development. He's here with us to just explain to us the concept of libertarianism and what really it means for Uganda and the Ugandans who is watching today. Let's start with that issue. What is liberty to you?
Liberty is being free from oppression, exploitation, or even to do what you want without being hampered on or being stopped when you are doing things legally. Yes. But the concept, libertarianism is a moral philosophy.
Yes.
Empisa, twiga waka, basi twigiriza waka totanga muno, tomuba, tomujake bibye. But for us, we developed it it is developed into a bigger concept, libertarian, which entails very many other things like rule of law. The government must be limited both in power and size. We follow capitalism, a system where individual rights are respected, where you own your courts, there should be nobody to take it from you. You should be the one to enjoy the effort of your result. I mean the result of your effort. So it is libertarianism is a moral philosophy which says do not hurt other people, don't take their property, don't agree with them. In case if you do harm them, you go back and apologize. And if they don't accept your apology, you have to pay back. Yes.
I enjoy that liberalism, but one would say we already have the liberty here inherent.
We don't.
Can anybody take away your shirt if I
no, the problem is
that's what I'm saying. So maybe you elaborate.
The school has been taught us lies.
Yeah.
If I was if I happen to go back to the university, I will oppose my lecturer for teaching me wrong things. They gave me wrong economics. They gave me wrong history.
Wrong things?
Yes, they taught me wrong economics.
Like what things in particular? Such we can also measure whether they were wrong
First
or
of all, they told me socialism, that government is the job creator.
Yes.
Government does not create jobs. They first take your money and then they give it.
No, the government creates jobs.
The government
that was not wrong.
Government does not create any job. If you give your maid money to go and buy beef cook it. The maid does not own the buying of meat. You are the one who did.
Who bought?
Government does not own a single coin. It only comes to us through taxes, and then use it to
create
do things. So it's the producers, it's people doing service, people solving the solution to get money, who give government money. Actually, those people in government are paid.
Yes.
To do the work. So they are not the creators, the producers, the entrepreneurs, the innovators, the digital who pay tax are the creators of jobs.
Yeah.
Government are employers of people who are used to do jobs for us. So they are not. So the other fallacy.
Yeah. Farida is not convinced, but it's the reality.
I am not.
Why? I am a taxpayer. And I'm trying to...
Government does not own a single
shilling. Yeah, it is my money, your money,
the other
his money.
narrative I've told you. Your house girl. Can you go and kneel down and appreciate your house girl for cooking meat and actually give it to you because...
No, a simple thank you does not hurt.
Yes,
it's simple.
It's simple. But the housemaid does not own the buying. She's paid for the work she's doing. Appreciating her, giving her tips does not qualify her to be the buyer of the food at home and everything.
They are more of a steward rather than an owner.
And maybe if we have some time, we shall deep into the bigger roles of government, the fundamental roles of government.
We have time.
Government has 3 fundamental roles. The rest are hoaxes. They are meant to exploit the world.
What are the 3?
Government has the role of justice. That's through judiciary and court of law. Then the second one is security of my freedom, my liberty and property. Then the third, that one is done by police. Then the third role is defense from external aggression, which is done by the army. Those are the fundamental roles. The rest of the roles, no, it has some flaws, but the rest, the security agencies.
I'll ask you later if there is a perfect liberty, but first continue.
Yes, yes. The rest of the roles, the things done by the government, those ones, they are not fundamental. They are socialist in nature and the actual calling for government operation on people. That is socialism.
Okay.
The more you ask government to do things for you, the more liberty you lose. Because you will entitle government, you give the government freedom to do what they want, using your own money.
Yes.
You see, the government in Uganda is very big. We believe in, for us, we believe in a limited government.
Yeah.
A small government. In size, the government, when it's small in size, it means the expense of government expenditure will be low. And people will remain with their money to use it the way they want it because it is theirs. They're the one who create it. And when people remain with the money, the multiplier effect of production, creating jobs will be very high. And the government actually should have limited power. One person, like president, should not have much power to determine minister, chairman of
the
what?
Electoral Commission.
Yes, commander-in-chief, appointing the Electoral Commission. He should not appoint the Electoral Commission. There should be an independent commission from all the political parties, from eminent people appointed by every political party. So government should have limited power and it should be limited in size. If I'm in parliament today, I propose 36 MPs or less. I propose around 9 or 10 ministries because it is useless to have those MPs. It is nonsensical. It does not have any impact, multiplier effect. People know how to use their money. I don't know if government is aware that we are here, if it is not spying on us.
It is.
Yes, we are aware, but the arrangement of us arriving here to create an impact or putting a block on this country, government was not aware.
Yeah, true.
People are doing billions of things amongst themselves when government is not aware, but when government only come to get what you have already created.
You have to give Caesar what is due to Caesar.
How much am I supposed to give them? And then what circumstance? Edgar,
yes,
I don't think you are a billionaire.
I am not
I don't think government knows you. If you become a billionaire today, government will come and say, you man, you owe us something, you should pay us. You can't use food when you have something.
No, but one would say, as I've said, give what belongs to Caesar to Caesar.
No,
and I don't think your government has taken more than 30%
that is the beginning
of how much
violation of freedom. The government should not take my money and give it to people who are sick, who are hungry, who have stolen and are in prison. That is not my role.
No, wait. Government should not use your money to go and help people who are sick.
I know I can help people personally who are sick. I help people. Today I'm doing the work of helping.
But what makes you think the sick did not give in money when they were not?
But
they're also
the rich
citizens
people.
of the
Do you know
country.
how much some companies pay in the pretense that the government is going to do public work? So you sleep, you don't sleep. You wake up very early, you do great work for your life, but the government comes in and say you must pay 36% of what you are doing. Instead of paying 3% to do the other 3 work, security, just judiciary and defense. The government will take your money and give it to Edgar, who has stolen and is in prison. He must eat poison.
Yes.
That is not right.
So.
It is against my property right. And you know,
so exactly what do you advocate for? You want prisoners to...
No. No. The government has a better way of doing that. But the issue is, I own my life. I own myself. I should live the way how I want to live. There are alternatives of how we can do public work. For example, when I was coming here, I used Entebbe Express. I paid money.
Yeah.
I paid money for using that road. There is what we call user policy. When you use something, you pay for it. You get it? When I use the hospital, I should pay for it. But when I don't go, personally, I don't go to government hospitals. Why should I pay for the government hospitals? So I should have a card. If at all I pay for government services, I should have a card. For example, to go to the government hospital.
An insurance card for government.
Yes.
You're a pure capitalist.
Yes. I'm a pure capitalist because capitalism gives people freedom to do what you want, provided you don't agree.
It is not a fair concept to make.
It is a fair concept because it is not like socialism.
The strong survive.
Socialism. No, it is not strong.
It is.
Have you stolen someone's things today?
Not today.
Do you have a car?
Yes.
Why don't you sell it and give to other people? Why don't you be at the equal footing with others? Everyone is selfish, and he has to get something for himself first. And some people who help the world, those people who are doing charity are the capitalists who have money, and they give back to the community.
That's true.
If you don't
America
have money,
is the biggest giver.
Yes, America is the biggest giver, and actually Uganda is one of, even if it is not very rich. If you don't have money, you cannot help the poor. People who help the poor, who are doing charity, are the rich, who are giving hands. The NGOs are being helped by people who are rich, who have money. There are very foundations. Individuals are the ones who invest money there. And those foundations are helping. Look at the Sunny Baby Home. Who help with? The people who have money. One time I remember I picked my son and went there with some. I was still very active in FDC. You know, we used to visit those people in the FDC student
League.
Yes, we used to go there and help those people. And very many people, there are always lines there, trying to help those people. There are people helping orphan, individuals helping orphan. There are very many people paying for the students at the university. So, do you know why? If you want to see that the capitalists are doing too much work, you look at how many hospitals, how many clinics are owned by private sector in Uganda.
A lot.
Actually, over 75% are owned by individuals. That is capital. Everyone is fighting to get profit out of that.
And that's why I want. That's why I'm saying it feels like you already have the capitalism that you want.
No.
And maybe
capitalism is being trampled on.
Let's start from there.
It is being trampled on by the government. Government is making a law today to regulate the pricing in the hospitals.
Yes.
The government is trying to interfere with the market. Government is charging people too much money in terms of taxes. The government is growing too much in size And that is the problem.
But how much taxes do you even have the capacity to pay as Ugandans? Because most of the taxes are not paid by you. The biggest taxes are paid. Let's start from there. Let's go for a short commercial break. I am still with Mr. Mwesige. Yeah, okay, maybe let's continue because you're still making a very good point.
Look at the budget. You see that Ugandans are paying tax, and the tax is not being used well. There is gross corruption. The regime of Mr. Museveni is too corrupt. They're stealing. Actually, it is not corruption only. They're stealing. Open robbery. There are thugs in government calling themselves leaders.
It cannot be robbery. It may be theft.
Okay. It is. Sometimes you can see what is going on. People's land is being hijacked by those powerful people in government, which is not good. So,
but okay, let's look at that concept that you're saying, that people's taxes should be respected. The capitalists should, because the thing is this is Africa.
Capitalism.
Because how many billionaires do you have in Africa? For example, I'm going to give you a statistic that is worrying. The Bank of Uganda in 2022 came and confirmed that not more than 1 million Ugandans earn 1 million shillings a month. Let me just make my point, Mr. Mwesige. They don't earn more than 1 million shillings a month. That means in a population for 48 million, how many of the 47 million are able to pay these taxes? Sometimes I think all of us should just bring that money and let government appropriate, because we are not as the United States, where you have more than a quarter of the billionaires on the earth in that country.
To steal my, if I stole your shoe, if I stole someone's car, they are all act of theft.
Yes.
They are all illegal.
Yes.
I do not need to have millions of money for you to cheat me. Every Ugandan pay money, even those who are not yet born will pay some money, which is taxed today. So I do not have to own billions for government to tax me. Because if you opt to buy iPhone today from Dubai, Pro Max 14, they will charge 1 million from that phone. And I don't know the multiply, if I mean how that money comes back to you and impact your life, the 1 million.
The medicine is in the hospital.
At most, that money you'll get even in the negative, or less than 1% of what comes back to you.
Of the services?
Yes, in terms of service. You can go and walk on the road, you'll see the potholes. You'll see government doing surgery or pretense in roads, building fake roads. You have the most expensive today traveled. I used the most expensive
According
road
to your
in the
concept, one would think that you people advocate, since we are paying the biggest taxes, so the roads should be made good where we are staying, because it is us who are paying the biggest taxes for the roads to be anywhere renovated. So where we are staying, the roads should really look good.
Yeah, today we are in a socialist mixed economy, if I'm to say. And the government has that. Ugandans mandated the government to do that, and they are supposed to be doing good roads. The government should not be big. When the government is small, that money can be invested in the infrastructure.
I agree with you on that.
Yes, but the government today does not do that because it is too big, and the government look at politics as the biggest venture, as the biggest business.
Yes.
They don't look at the citizen who pay tax as the most important aspect. That is the challenge we have. So government look at keeping itself in power, look at getting agents who will make noise for it so that they can stay in power. They don't look at the infrastructure, the livelihood of people as most important. That's why sometimes you see the government security budget swelling even when there is no war. So
to secure you, defend you.
No. When there is no war, why should you increase the budget? And that budget is unclassified. It is not accounted for. Yes, but today Uganda is in insecurity. People are dying. The ADF are killing the tourists.
You sounded feel. Sorry, first finish your point. Okay.
The security is not good. That's what how I can summarize. Actually, it's violated the freedom of Ugandans.
Okay.
Instead of doing professional, I hear some people saying that security is profession, the army is profession, but I have seen violating the freedom of Uganda during the election.
But we cannot have 100% secure nation.
Yes, I see as a professional military attacking the courts of law actually arrest people who were released by the very institution which is supposed to be independent. That cannot be a profession and security which is highly paid, actually with a classified budget, which cannot actually respect the employer, and that is the taxpayer and the citizens of Uganda. Yes.
Because, okay, for me, I was looking at it from a yardstick of libertarianism of, let's look at USA, because we can call them the icon of liberty to some extent.
America is a mixed economy. Okay, they are advanced in terms of freedom, but America, they are not a democratic country.
Yeah.
Do you know something?
Yeah, true.
There are two dominant political parties. The third political party to go on ballot paper, you have to first go and ask people to sign for you. And if you don't get the number, they will not put you on the ballot paper. They will only write your name. So that is discrimination. That is not democracy. Ballot access.
But even here, you need to have those.
Yes, but the other one here, Katumba was on the ballot.
He had all those signatories.
Yes,
from
but
the
other one,
districts.
The other one is a different case. You have to first get the number to go in. Here, you just go and collect the signatures. You put there. You have to do serious work to go to the ballot. It is not like the system here where you go and collect your signatures and then go direct. There you do go and ask people to actually give you the signatures. It is a type of some work. Leaving that aside, of course, America is advanced and it respects some kind of freedom, though they have their own challenge. But
that is what I'm trying to show, that there is no perfect kind
of
system.
The problem is in Africa it is too much. Our leadership is more dictatorial.
It's because we're a growing economy.
No, it is not about growing. It is about the system we build. We don't respect the system. The people in power are drunk on power. They don't respect the rule of law. They don't respect individual liberty or liberty of the freedom of the people. So the system they tend to build, you look at the Uganda constitution, it is becoming useless. People are, as if it was written in pencil, everyone can come and rub what they wrote in 1995. The Constitution of America has, in 200 years, has had not more than 10 amendments. But the Constitution of Uganda, since 1995, how many amendments? And the most crucial safeguards of the Constitution, age limit, which would prevent dictatorship, term limits, they are all scrapped out. You see? So, people take the country as their private property.
But Uganda has been boasting of freedom. Have you heard of that? That Ugandans are happy people in freedom. Yes, you've been advocating
on
for
average, Uganda has little freedom. It is there, but it is limited. It is not desirable for anybody. Most people who have lived in the country with freedom, they will not prefer coming to live in Uganda. A country with freedom will not have a president for 4 decades or 38 years.
You are voting him?
No. I have been here. I have participated in 2 elections. I have received cans for opposing the voting rigging. Politics in Africa and the world is about people's lives, because people wake up every day to keep that government in power.
That's true.
People hustle and they pay a lot to government. It is about your life, because the government can determine who you are, what you eat, what medicine do you get, which car do you drive, how often do you drive your car. So if we cannot form a government that make people get better medicine, get better roads, get better education, that government is not proper, and it should not exist.
Mr. Mwesige. Okay, you had something, because I'm not, the concept of, I'm feeling, okay, do you have an icon that you can say, these people have tried to be as liberal as they can?
No, yes.
Where you think Uganda can follow such a pattern?
Yes. First of all, being liberal is to respect rule of law. The government should be small enough to let people do their business, That is being liberal.
But it can be small, and also
the government should have police that work for the people. That the police that protect the property of the people. Government should take limited tax and should not be very big. And today, if you look at recently, the president, one of the Libertarian, one of the person who believe in capitalism, captured a government in Argentina. Is a professor. He's called Professor Jovia Malay. They had 21 ministries. He chopped them to 11. He suspended government cars. He chased. Actually, recently they were in cabinet meeting, and one of them took away the information to the public. He chased him because he was not following the public ethic. He reduced the number of cars owned by government. He reduced the number of vehicles. Actually, he's resizing the government to a small size because his point is people know how to use their money better than the government. And if you look at the economy that actually taxes too much, that has a big government, the economy is always involved in inflation, it is involved in corruption, it is involved big men in power and dictatorship at the end. So when the government is small, the corruption will always be small. No. Of course, people will have much freedom to do what they want because they will tax less. And the employment will be high. Are
you calling for the Magulification of Uganda?
Magufuli was a dictator. I don't believe in.
Because you said he has talked up. He did all the policies. You said he tracked down on the international budget. He tracked down on the ministers, and he developed his country in just 5 years.
But
he brought it from a third country to a middle income economy.
But he did that. But
at what cost?
But he was doing it when he has dictatorship on his back. There is doing it using the constitution. Malay has presented into the constitution, I mean to the parliament, omnibus bill, which is going to change those things.
Yes.
Magufuli was a dictator who would say something, he would actually slap or throw the opposition into prison. So Magufuli was a kind of dictator. If we go here down in Kagame,
that's where I was going to
dictator.
Go. Let's go to Kagame.
He's doing his work, but he's a dictator.
What do you want?
It is like someone taking.
What do you really want?
If someone may take your money, when you want to buy chicken, he tells you you'll eat meat today. Is that proper?
No.
Someone who want to buy a bicycle, someone will tell you you must have a
Osaga.
That is not moral. It is against the moral standard of any human being. You are not created to be a slave by government or any individual using laws. Sometimes laws plunder.
But let's assume
using law to steal people does not make it right. That is what we call legal plunder. If you read a book called The Law by Frederick Buffett.
But let's assume a capitalist takes power in Uganda today. How would they do something like maybe chopping the parliament, reducing on the ministers without you terming them dictators? Because one, they will not go through the constitution. You cannot table such in parliament. We are going to reduce it. They will not pass it. So you will have just give orders, and that will actually paint you as a dictator.
The reality is, it is a big task. It cannot easily be achieved. And actually, I told you, Malay is a capitalist who has captured power. People started demonstrating. They went into demonstrations. So, in Uganda, where people were taught that government is very important, when government does not create any wealth, does not solve very many problems. I told you, the schools are in the hands of private. Most actually over 80, maybe. Primary school, secondary school.
Education has been capitalized.
Now, agriculture, it is headed by individuals. Now, which work is the government doing? Which percentage is the government dominant?
Oversight.
People do oversight themselves. Who has done oversight here? Who has done oversight in my work, where I do? Government just do work. Actually, it is less than actual security. It's provided by individuals. Government does work, of course, but it is small. So government cannot take much money because it is doing much work. It is doing less work. Why should government NMP paid? Why should we pay MP over 25 millions when people who are doing serious work like teachers
are being paid 500?
Pay less. Actually, MP is being paid over times. It takes a salary of over 45 teachers.
Yeah.
It takes you 5 weeks to get an MP. Anybody who is having a senior 6 pass slip, it will take you 16 work to get a qualified teacher. Anybody, you cannot go and pick in a bar anybody to go to class.
Become a teacher.
You must have a specialized knowledge to go to class.
But
so how can you pay a person who is less important than a person who is more valuable? MP is less important compared to a teacher, compared to a nurse. Those people are very, very important to the economy.
Yes, that's a reality.
You can replace 100 MPs, but you cannot replace a nurse.
100 teachers or a nurse.
Or a nurse, yes. So how can you pay? So such a system
there is a system. Your country has undermined a lot professionals really, if you look at it.
Actually, if
really
for me, I believe in a free market.
Free market.
Free market should determine how much people should be paid. If teachers are on demand, they can be paid highly. The schools which pay teachers well, the school perform better.
True.
You go and do research and see that. Most schools which pay teacher. The hospital which are doing well, where they have clients, big clientele, they have good doctors and nurses. They have great health care. The hospital where you go, you feel you are, even if you are sick, you feel that you are better. Yes.
Before being worked on.
Yes.
you just feel like coming back.
The environment itself. You just feel at least.
Joram, it feels also that this concept is for the guys like yourself who have a livelihood. Let's look at the grand scheme of things of the entire population of Ugandans generally. And if we continue with such a policy, or if we adopted hypothetically that policy, how about these people who live on, who don't even get money in a month? There is a Ugandan who does not even hold 1,000 shillings a month. So for them, against they're yet to tumujia system economy
okay. The issue is the economy grow spontaneously.
Yes.
Grow without our knowledge.
Yes, that's a reality.
You have today there is food in Owino, in Owino market. The government did not command a farmer to bring that food there.
Yes, that's true.
Very many people are waking up every day to do things which are not known to government or which are known to people who are supposed to implement policies. Those people, if we leave them to do what they are doing, if government leave, do you know these Myoga things?
Yes.
PDM. Those are useless programs. They just get money from the rich people who have experience of creating jobs, of increasing production. When production increases, jobs will increase. Of course, when, for example, if someone is producing 100 tons, when he produces 10,000 tons, it means marketing officers will increase, people on the line of production will increase, you need an accountant. Remember, there is a multiplier effect. The accountant will employ a housemaid, will employ a summer boy. So the economy works like that. It is not commanded by individuals.
Yes.
It has its spontaneously grow.
And our economy for today has sidelined some Ugandans.
Yes.
That's the reality. For you, yours is a theory.
Yes.
For me, I'm talking about a reality of the livelihood of Ugandans.
That is true.
Reality today.
It is like everywhere in America, in more developed countries, there are poor people. But a poor person in those countries may have a fridge, may have a warmer.
Yeah.
Yes.
They can thrive.
So they can thrive. But sometimes it is hard for them.
Which is not here in Uganda. Yes. Yes.
But what I'm saying, the point is, when you leave the institution of the entrepreneurs to work, when you give them opportunity, now the government is bringing the competition bill law. They actually passed it.
It was already signed.
That the Mira, Mairunji, that the people should not grow Mairunji. That is a very bad law. If someone is growing Mairunji, to grow Mairunji, you're required to pay 100 million, I think. Those are actually
to get a license.
To get a license. And
the new law.
Actually, those are big people in government who are doing that. People growing sugarcane in Kakira. It is not the role of government to be in production, in entrepreneurship. How can you tell that someone to grow sugarcane should actually get a license and actually should pay 100 million?
Oversight, that's the thing.
No.
Back to oversight.
And that is the beginning of the collapsing economy. How can you chase people from the jobs? That is chasing people from jobs. Very many people have been paying. They have small acres.
Yeah.
They are paying school fees using that.
They're feeding their families.
They are feeding their families. Now the government is chasing them. Imagine you go to East, in people who are growing sugarcane. Government is oppressing them. They are required to sell to certain individuals, the outgrowers. They are supposed to get license. And that is government overreaching. The government is role, I told you, is supposed to provide those people. If me and Bikobere have a contract, and personally I decided to violate the contract and decide to cheat, that is the role of court, to come in, or police to come and arrest me. If I'm doing my work legally, I'm getting my mirror and selling it to people, and people that are buying, they are fighting to buy, or I'm selling it to them, even if it is high price. It is them to see if they can buy or not. If I sell,
why do you overprice the alcohol?
Yes, people are there to buy.
I am trying to deter people from consuming that.
No.
Because the thing is
not the role of government to determine what I should eat.
But listen,
it is my role. It is not my body does not. It is not supposed to be controlled by the government.
You can have a child, but you're not allowed to kill that child.
Yes, that is another case.
Allowed?
That is not.
No, what I'm trying to say is that many people these days there is a lot of unproductive young people.
Yes.
And because the government is seeing, there is a bit of redundancy and productivity.
No, the government redundancy is another case. It is a moral case. Government cannot force me to work. I can determine how I live my life. If I want to live my life without working, begging, that is what I want. That is his choice. Every person has a destiny to live using his freedom. That is freedom. That is liberty. I can choose which direction I should take for my life.
So it is okay for me to allow something that I know is going to spoil my the next generation to just continue.
No,
just because of the element of freedom.
People do not behave like that. Millions of Ugandans are waking up to go and do business that make them better. Actually, Uganda's economy is growing because of people who are working. It is not a government command. The economy to grow cannot be commanded by the government, because the government does not farm, does not do farming, does not do production.
So if you say the government should not care what people consume,
yes.
So that means people are going to abuse drugs, because I mean
if I drink alcohol and I die, it is my business. It is not the role of government. Now, why should you buy a good phone when you cannot eat good food?
It's my business.
Should government interfere and say that you are not eating well? You should not buy a good phone. Yes? Should you not buy a good phone?
Now you're trying to blackmail us.
No, I'm not blackmailing. No, I'm not saying you. I gave it an example.
You're blackmailing.
I gave it as an example.
Okay, let's go to the case of the Anti-Homosexuality Act. You as a libertarian,
yes.
What do you think about that?
So personally, I don't agree with homosexuality. But personally, I cannot build a prison for them. African culture, we believe in democracy. We have to respect the rule. What people
we
say,
should let them live.
Yes. For me personally, I will not kill them.
Not interfere in their business. No one is killing anyone.
I will not imprison them. I will not build a law for them, but I will make a very serious law. If I find Edgar recruiting young people, minors, into homosexuality, I will severely punish Edgar, seriously. I will seriously protect with the law the minors from homosexuals.
How about when you find an
but
Edgar,
if I find
a mature man with another Edgar?
If I find it, if there is
we are married,
public domain, that is another case. You're exposing it to the world. But if I hear, if you are in your own room, I cannot come to your house to ask what you do inside your house. But if you pretend to be moving around, expose young people to homosexuality, the law will work on you severely.
That is interfering in their lives.
No. he would be exposing young people, the community, to what the culture does not believe. But if Edgar is in his own house, he's not exposing it to the community, where the people who do, for example, Uganda, where people don't agree, you go in a community where the young people, they say you start doing your business, that is not good. Actually, the law should protect the community
And
or
the
the minor.
minors.
That one I believe it very well. I support the government if it's doing what. But if I find Edgar doing, if I hear Edgar, because if I find you in public, that's when the case comes. But if you are doing your business in your room, I will not be responsible for monitoring people's room. It is a private business.
Okay, now let's delve into what the president, most African leaders have reiterated, that we are bringing things and we are copying and pasting them to our society. How about we start to tailor a democracy that is ours? For example, a liberty that is ours, like how you've said, that as Africa, we give you liberty. You'll go and party, you'll go and drink, you'll go and do whatever business you want. But as Africans, our liberty will not entail you bringing homosexuality and promoting it.
Liberty is personal.
That's why I'm saying, can't we rethink it really?
Liberty is personal. Someone cannot think it for you. Someone cannot think for your freedom. Because you know how to use them.
But so some are using them to expose homosexuality. And that's why we are saying
that's why
I'm saying. Don't we need to tailor it to our African culture?
Yes.
And our African systems, really?
That's why we are talking about the law. The law must be there to promote, to watch some excesses. That's why I said it should be there. But freedom is something universal. It is not for, we are not importing it from anywhere. Because me personally, I believe in freedom. I was born free.
Yes.
I should be free. Someone should not use a law to take away my liberty, my freedom. I should speak freely. I should move freely, provided I'm not violating the freedom of others, provided I'm not doing illegal things. Like, government should not bring laws that try to hijack the result of my thought. Yes.
I get you. Where are we as a journey, as Ugandans? Where do you think we are going? Can we adapt this with a kind of system that we have?
No,
and of leaders?
The journey is tedious. It is going to take us some time. Even, I told you, the other developed countries, the people you look at, I saw they have challenges. But these are the opportunity for us to keep advancing, to keep speaking the truth to people who are making the law. I told you we are doing education work to let people, the next generation, understand the better idea are not to create a big government, but to create a small government that respects people's freedom. Okay. That one will take us some years. We may have a capitalist president when I'm not around. People who fought for, the black people who fought for American independence, for the freedom of blacks, were not there.
The only problem
actually, Barack Obama is the one who became the president.
He harvested the sweat of various
The only
people.
problem I see here is the authors of these concepts, these theories,
are
not from Africa.
Freedom,
so
rights,
the case studies
individual
that
rights.
they
Look at the
use
Constitution.
to have
What does
these
the Constitution?
concepts,
What does the
in
Constitution of
Africa?
Uganda say? Where does your freedom come from? Where does your right come from?
It is not bestowed
it is
upon
God-given.
anybody. It is inherent.
Is that supposed to be? Is that supposed to be authored? You are the one who said you are contradicting yourself. You are someone who said it is coming from somewhere.
No,
the
concept
of libertarian and the case studies in there.
The issue is, yes,
are
there are some people.
I'm not from Africa here. So copying the whole concept and pasting it
the
in
problem
Africa
is
going
the
to be
problem
problematic.
is the problem is people are not exposed, and that's why you think they are coming from here. People who have written about them, they are trying to make them available to some people, to some communities. Can you imagine some society like Europe, like France? They used to say that the power of the king, the power of leaders were from God. Do they still believe that today?
No, they don't.
The society and the knowledge is under transition. It is evolving. People are becoming more knowledgeable every day. That, government, the monarchs, they are absolute. They could command that this land belongs to me and they take it.
Yes.
But today, those things are not rare because people are becoming more knowledgeable, they are becoming more informed of their freedom, they are asserting themselves. So, my freedom does not come from anywhere. My liberty does not come from anywhere. It belongs to me. And actually, you said, it is what? It's natural. So, something natural. This system we are putting, the people who are violating our freedom, they just built a system that does so. And look at the laws. Uganda is becoming a regulatory state.
Yes.
They are bringing laws which did not exist. The laws we have today, they were not in existence 250 years back.
Yeah.
They were not there. But because some of these laws,
even 100 years,
because the government wants to assert itself, they want to be in power. They bring laws sometimes, so that they are the one in charge. They are the one in control. But as I said, maybe I'm over repeating it. The fundamental role of government are the three, which
justice,
are very important.
Security,
Justice,
and defense.
Security and defense.
Okay.
But the rest, they will require me to pay a price for other people.
Which
they
you
require
don't want
a
to.
very rich person to pay a price for the others and those in government.
let's-
Actually, when the government take your money, the money that comes back,
Yeah, it's
they are
less.
the biggest beneficiary. They are the biggest beneficiary. They pay themselves highly when you're hungry. They
That's
pay
a
themselves
reality.
well. They sleep well. They go for better medical care. You can imagine this scenario. A person who tells you that I cook good food, but for him, after serving, he goes in a hotel and eat. They tell you have built good hospitals. When they get sick, they fly out. We built good schools. Their sons and daughters are not in good schools. Isn't that fallacious? Isn't that one being something?
Do you think liberalism will develop Africa or Uganda?
No. Uganda has elements of liberalism, has elements of capitalism.
Yes.
It is dominant, but it is being curtailed by the state interference. We are saying the government should rescind, should be small enough, should limit its interference. Because it's private sector that creates jobs. It's private sector that creates quality medicine, quality education. Do you know why the government schools are in their situation? They are dilapidated. They are not performing well. Government is not a good worker. It is a poor worker. It is full of inefficiency. It is not ineffective.
Yeah,
it is ineffective,
that's
I mean. Do you know why? That is the nature of government all over the world. A digger, if your bicycle is packed forever to do outside there, in 3 weeks, that bike will be in there. It will be actually broken. The teacher in government schools knows every month the salary will come. And sometime, because of the law, he will require an increase. Even if he teaches and the student does not qualify, the student does not pass, he will always remain whatever, getting the salary. Imagine when you are in a private school, there is no results. What will happen? You will not demand for salary increase, even you will fear yourself to go and even demand
They can even evict you.
You are not offering better quality.
They'll get some other person to do that.
In private sector, offer quality, offer opportunities. The government, I don't know how many, if you know how many government jobs. The government does not have jobs. There are very few of them. And actually, those few government jobs, it's private sector that creates them because the government gives them money to put those opportunities there.
What have countries like China done different to develop, yet they are not liberal in nature?
Yeah, China is liberal. People should not be lied to. In the 40s,
and they're communists
and
socialists.
Listen, in the 40s, they had Chairman Mao who introduced Leap Forward program. Go and look for Leap Forward program. Everything was made, like Ujama here in Tanzania, was made community, public. That the road, the land, production was all government. Do you know what happened? People died in millions. Over 70 million people died because of that. In Tanzania, Nyerere said, I have tried my system, it failed. You should try the other alternative. That's what Tanzania, Nyerere said. Because of inefficient by the system, of government system, people had nothing to eat, they started eating each other. They ate birds, they ate insects, they ate bark of the trees, they ate leaves. They started eating themselves the coops. Until 70s, China started benchmarking the West. Because China wanted to use that system, the communist system, the leap forward, to show the world as an experiment, so that socialism was the best option.
Yes.
The problem was a boomerang. People died, China's economy almost collapsed, millions of people died, it could not sustain millions of people and they died.
Because of the concept of socialism?
Yes, because of the concept. When that problem happened, when they were transiting, today is Jinping, they said, let us do benchmark. Let us see how the West are doing it. They sent professors to go and listen and copy how are the things being conducted. Jinping himself went to Singapore, to Lee Kuan Yew, and benchmarked how things should be done. What China is doing today, they left people to do cottage industries. That is capitalism. And the government is doing this out, like the CCC, the China's company which comes to developed country to do the oil
the China
and
Belt
the government
River
is using that
project.
But locally, people have freedom to do things. But politically, the government is too dictatorial. That one I believe. But government gave people freedom to what? Do business. And people, free market has very many things. You let people do what they want. They produce. The laws should not much hamper them. They say the nomadic countries, the Scandinavian countries, those people have an environment of doing business. Most of them call them socialists, but over 80% of the environment is more capitalistic, is more free market. But of course, the government has regulation, they do a lot of taxation. But the environment is free market.
So you'd rather bring a Chinese system here, would it work?
Yeah, I don't believe in China system.
Because isn't it the one that
I don't believe China. China, first of all, it's a big economy. Sometimes the population,
1.5 billion.
It can consume. China has a cheaper population, a cheaper labor, which can produce and supply the rest of the world at a cheaper. So they have that scale of production and also sale to the rest of the world. And you see, that is very, very important. We may not necessarily opt for China model because the factor that makes China develop may not be the the government should. Government actually in China's economy.
Development does not really need liberty.
You look at the economy. Who contributes? Is it the government or China? People who are doing cottage industries, who are owning things.
The people.
People.
The people of China.
They are the one contributing to the economy of China, not the government. So you should not be lied. It is the government. Even in the government actually brings a system that hamper.
So a dictatorial government can offer freedom for people to engage in.
How can you be dictator?
But you said
that's what China is doing.
Government in China and people are producing.
I'm saying politically.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Politically, there is you look at economy and look at politics. Those are two different distinctives.
Let's look at the UAE. Let's bring a case study of the United Arab Emirates. By 1986, they were like us.
Yes, but the Arab, we cannot, things are not constant.
Of course, they are different. The context is different.
Different context. Those people have oil, and they have benevolent dictators. Like Kagame here down.
Yes, the benevolent.
For them, they are ready to work for the people.
The good dictator.
They can fight corruption to zero. If they find you stealing, they can punish you. When they deploy money to do the road, it does the road, a better road, a high quality road, a road of standard, international standard. But here, that is the challenge. So the event and the thing and the factor that develop the dictators, they are different. I said that the benevolent dictator, people who are dictator but they are willing to work for the people. Yes. So accompanied by factors like oil and able leadership. Leadership is very important. Yes.
Okay. You still making a point? Because in Uganda here today, there is something that government has realized that most of the people who are doing the jobs or who are given these tenders are not corrupt, they are not doing the work very well. So these days they have opted for a militarization of all government operations, of all public operations, things like constructing of roads. Isn't that a viable solution to try to reduce the corruption and inefficiency?
If you begin to blame your family of being a robbery movement in your village, then you have a problem. It means you have failed on your responsibility as a father. If government fail to create a better system of rule of law that work, they will start hoodwinking and finding another alternative that actually is political. Government is supposed to use the law, a system of laws that justly work. If you have a system, do you know Coca-Cola? Does Coca-Cola belong to Ugandans?
No.
No.
It is international. Why do you think it is perfectly working in Uganda? They created a
It's
system.
not even in the Uganda.
It is an
Coca-Cola
international.
there is a
Yes.
bottle of Coca-Cola in every corner of the world.
Yes. Why? The moment you put a system that works, things will be better. The CEOs of Digitalk are not supposed to be for the program to run. They have a system that is coordinated with able leadership that makes things run. So you cannot accuse your family of stealing when they know that the father is a thief.
So the problem is the laws won't catch them. Like it is systematic. The robbery and the corruption is systematic. Is that what
No,
you're
those
saying?
are two. Weakness and the people trying to implement the system that is supposed to iron things and they do well are the victims themselves. They actually are supposed to be the first people to be punished. Yes.
that sounds ironic already.
No.
Hey.
This man in South Africa is this Zuma? Where is
Zuma,
he?
Jacob Zuma.
Where is he?
He's
Has he ever been in prison?
He was there for a few
What happened?
days and he's now out.
So the moment the law works, people will see that the law works. When you are president and you are a criminal, the law should work on you. I hear Ugandans are demanding for transition, and they want to create a leeway for the criminals that when they go out of power, they should not be punished. How about people who were victims of those people who were in power? Will you pay them? How will you pay them? Will you get Edgar's man and pay them?
Compensate them.
So you believe that someone should come and take your phone, should come and reduce your salary to go and compensate on behalf of the criminals? Should that happen?
It's unfair.
To get something, you have to pay a cost. So
Very
if,
unfair.
So for you want to pay a cost for the criminals?
so if not punishing them can take them away from power, yes.
No,
maybe,
the
and
system
then
of
we
laws,
have a
the system
transition.
of laws should be able to guide how the society should be managed.
Okay.
What
Mwesige.
happens in a situation where the system of law is not respected?
People like us should come out to fight, educate the entire society, to assert itself and demand for a better system.
Mwesige, let's go
And
to
which is not easy.
let's come to the reality on ground
Yes.
today. The reality of ground, there is a lot of injustice hangover over this country.
Yes.
You remember what happened in 2016 Kasese. You remember what happened in 2020
Yes.
here in Kampala.
Yes.
We've had these scenarios of injustice that have been happening over a while. And there is that hoovering that is going on. So maybe where is Uganda going if we continue with this trajectory, which we are continuing with such a trajectory? And we go on?
No, every society has such injustices. It will take a while. I don't normally want to use people's quote, but you can fool some people for some time and fool all people for some time, but you cannot fool all people all the time.
It's been 40 years.
revolution, like the people who overthrew Hussein Mubarak, the Brotherhood, the Muslim Brotherhood, took 40 years. People who actually, that one, they took 40 years. I read one of the book I had from a friend. They said, he told me they could go on the street, they protest with 100 people. They go back tomorrow, they have 300. The 3 people, they go, they have 50 and they feel they have performed well. They go with 200, they feel they have performed well. They seem that they would not do anything. But time comes when things will work themselves out. I happen to be active since my university. I joined politics when I was a socialist by then. I joined and I have been active. You know, I have seen transition. Even in opposition, you can see a strong man like Mwesige being overtaken by, you see, a person like Museveni, who was being praised as a new breed of Africa by the West, who has turned into someone who violated the constitution. So things change. Even development we have today has developed in 250 years.
Yes.
So things will always change with time. And the more people are educated, education, one time I always imagine, what if we had only one TV, UBC? We don't have TikTok. I would not get an opportunity to speak. Today, everyone has the ability to speak. Everyone has a radio, has a TikTok, we organized, we talk to 100 people.
Yeah.
I can communicate to 1,000 people without government interference. No, a government may interfere without much government giving me the whatever the opportunity.
The leeway.
I remember one time Mwesige paid money to UBC, but they did not allow him. But today we have opportunity. Capitalists created an infrastructure to fight dictators all over the world. Even the new money, Bitcoin is coming. I use Bitcoin. Bitcoin, if I don't want, I'm sending money to my friend and they don't want the government to know, I just send using Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is the money for the future. It is money for freedom. We are finding a way, an alternative way of fighting dictators all over the world using software. We may not use wars, guns to fight dictators, but we can weaken the dictators using negotiation. We can limit him from moving. We can even talk to people. Can you imagine that the digital can cause impact? I was yesterday looking at your 2 adverts about the environment and rights. Those are 2 great adverts I always watch. They are very, very important. By the way, I think even they are very important, by the way. So the infrastructure of the social media technology is a very, very important in exposing dictators. And we speak in Uganda and the whole world will hear.
Yes, of course.
We can wake up and mobilize people.
Using social media.
Using social media. Imagine where that infrastructure is not there. You see?
Yes.
And recently, Mwesige, I think Mwesige was saying, Dr. Mwesige was saying, the people fought, they didn't have any infrastructure. They didn't have phones, they didn't have, but they used to communicate. And they would come and do. Today, I think the young people, because we are the majority, should take advantage of social media. They should use the tools. They can even steal the social media from the government, and the government remain with nothing. But
advocating for such a thing, being loud, has brought them a lot of challenges.
No,
hasn't it?
Being loud in which
like
speaking,
every time you speak,
I'm very sure.
You have freedom of speech, but not after speech.
I'm very sure. Yes, that is the price we pay. Since 2000, if you, I'm on TikTok with people from Western Uganda. Those girls, young people from Western, did not support opposition. People in Western Uganda, you look at people who voted Besigye, number of people who voted Besigye, they have been increasing. People from Western, especially Toro, they were increasing. People who voted Bobi Wine, they increased. Do you know why? Because there are people who have been talking, people who have been educating people, people who are on social media trying to inform people about their freedom. Because of development will make dictators more vulnerable to revolutions.
Accountable.
The moment, that's why the dictators don't want people empowered economically. They don't want people who are rich. Because rich people can easily overthrow the government. Yeah. Gaddafi gave people everything, but he did not give them freedom. People who were rich, they decided to work with the big power to defeat him.
To defeat him, that's true. That's true.
Though there were other things where
other factors
that the West used to fight Gaddafi, like the African dollar and oil and gold.
Yeah.
I see. Because he wanted a United Africa. United Africa would be stronger than the West, or any country in the world.
Exactly, that's the
so
reality.
That was a threat. The African dollar would be stronger than a dollar. So the US. They fought him. But that is, by the way.
No, it isn't by the way. People need to know.
But it's a reality.
Yeah, but I just brought in that as an example.
Okay, as we come to the end of the show, because we have the last 10 minutes, I want us to also look at maybe, because you've hinted on it, but practically, apart from just saying these people can speak out, are there some practical means, are there workshops that can be done to try to sensitize? What can be done to try to make sure that the voice is uplifted? But not only uplifted, because the voice is there, but respected by the people who are running this country?
The freedom, justice, rule of law can only be respected when people have freedom, when people have power. People have no power.
Okay.
What they have to do is assert themselves and fight for their freedom and power. They should get power from the government. How? People should have platform like this, great platform which are liberal. They should actually think. The leader, recently I was very, very reluctant about opposition. You know, I was supporting FDC so much. When
does that mean you changed when you say you were?
I'm coming to that. When NUP came, they started, I don't want to go back and cause havoc. I want a united force of change. I believe in a united opposition. But when they came, I have to talk about it, because history will teach us what we should, how we should behave in future. When they came, they started organizing FDC, fighting. Of course, FDC was also resisting. But remember those of Abed Wanika, people who attacked Besigye on CBS. So they gave me a picture. I remained supporting FTC, not very active. And recently, the issue that happened to FDC of Nandala, those one. They beat the demoralized me.
The FDC, the Katonga and the Najanankombe.
They beat the demoralized me more. But for me, because of what that happened, I felt bad. I felt very disappointed with leaders who are supposed to be the eyes of the struggle.
Exactly.
You should see Bobi Wine very reluctant about people who attacked Besigye and FDC. You could see Besigye sometimes. I didn't much. I did not fight NUP. I kept silent. So I could see people, leaders. Of course, everyone is selfish, as I said.
Exactly.
So Edgar should fight to be selfish enough to fight for your own interest.
Yes.
Yeah. So people were, of course, in opposition selfish. They wanted people to be leaders in opposition. They are comfortable. Some people are comfortable with position in opposition.
Yes.
So that is the challenge. They do not give us the country much because they are fighting for position in opposition. So what I'm urging, that the leaders in opposition should look at the bigger dream. The issue of constitutionalism, rule of law, the oppressed Ugandans, they unite, and then they can create a platform. When they unite, they need to have good ideas, which I've been talking about. We need a very small government. where the president does not have power to command the Bank of Uganda to release money. We need a state house that has very few cars. The president is supposed to drive like 3 cars, not 60 cars. We need the government's cabinet is supposed to be 20 or less ministers and advisors. RDC should go and dig. They can do data and digging. They do farming. The president's advisor can also go and they remain with very few of them. Yes.
Okay.
So, in Uganda,
the parliament also should be reduced.
I told you, the parliament should actually, the district, we should have a democratic dictator, a person who uses the law to reduce the parliament. And actually,
dictator.
Yes, but it is very hard. That one, it cannot. Like the president said, he will table the minibus bill or minibus bill. It is not difficult. It is very difficult. So the government that gets power should look at the parliament. The parliament is becoming useless. It is almost useless compared to the work they do and compared to the number they have. The parliament is important, but compared to the number we have, it is useless.
Lastly, what do you think about federalism?
Federalism, I believe in freedom. I believe in freedom. I believe in freedom. People urge of federal. Federal, what if I get a federal in Toro and we don't have a rule of law? What if I get a federal in Toro, people don't, they create a very big government that still. I believe in United Africa, where everyone has free to move to Rwanda, to move to Congo without a visa. I carry my matoke and go to Congo without anybody hampering me. Now, for you want to bring a federal and you confine me within a certain thing. People should be left to move where they want, stay where they want, use the money, deploy the money where they want. Federal, of course, some people, they think that a group of people in a certain location, they should use the resources to develop that
location.
That one makes sense, but what if my worry is it may not be justified to have federal when you don't have a rule of law. Yes. For example, we need, first of all, to respect individual rights. Then freedom, for the federal, it is good, especially when those fundamental tenets of governance are in place. Yeah, I don't oppose federal as such, but it is not the most important thing. The most important thing is freedom.
Thank you so much, Mr. Joram Mwesige. Guys, do you have a few messages before we leave?
No.
Okay. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. Joram Mwesige. He's a Libertarian Administration Officer at Action for Liberty and Economic Development. Do you have a parting shot, sir? Yeah, my parting shot is dreaming of a country where people own power, where those in power understand that the voters, the citizen, the taxpayer, the bosses. And lastly, I also want to appreciate the Dig Talk for this great, wonderful opportunity. I always ask you to always invite us. Yes, sir. And I want to tell you that people who are radical, people who, in terms of idea, in terms of better ideas, we are getting more. I told you of the organization that are promoting capitalism, rule of law, and libertarianism. We have trained several young people who understand a better system of governance in this country. Okay. They're there outside. I want to salute all the libertarians in Uganda and the rest of Africa. Okay. Viva Liberty. Damn it. Yeah. Thank you so much. That is Mr. Joram Mwesige. It has been an insightful discussion. We're looking at Uganda, how Uganda is looking like and where we're going as a future. Because, you know, I don't even understand the system we have or we are thriving in these days. The system. You know, Museveni is a person who does not have a clear ideology. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. He's playing ping-pong game. He's here and there. It's not clear. Mixed economy, socialism, sometimes communism, democracy. He plays ping-pong politics. Yeah, that's why he has been in power for all that long. Ladies and gentlemen, from the entire team, thank you so much for tuning in. We shall see you tomorrow, Woman Crush Wednesday. Farida and Luede Lillian shall be here to usher you into the morning. My name is Edgar Mathew Karuhanga. It's a privilege and humbling to be with you for having watched us for all the time from 8 a.m. up to now. Thank you so much. We shall see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. God bless Uganda.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.